Welcome to the Embracing Singleness podcast with your host, my sister, Elder Prophetess Shimika Bowers. The purpose of this podcast is to change the perception of being saved and single from being an obstacle to being a blessing, while embracing our singleness to help build functional relationships as Christ so desires. So again, let's welcome our host, Prophetess Shimika Bowers.
Welcome back to Embracing Singleness. We are in the series of 5 signs you are with the wrong person. Do not ignore the red flags. What did I say last podcast? If you haven't seen it, please, or listened to it, please go back and listen to it. Grab those journals. But what I said in last podcast is red signs does not mean to proceed with caution, does not mean hit the gas and speed up. Red signs mean stop. Don't go any further. I am on a mission to help you to stop breaking your own heart. Just stop. Just stop. Somebody tell yourself, just stop. You know better. Just stop. You saw the signs, and you just ignored it just so you can have somebody. We are not being stuck on stupid in this season. How about that? So the first one was red flag number 1 was if they are not consistently pursuing Jesus, stop. You are already headed to being unequally yoked. If you don't understand what that means, please go back and check out podcast number 1. So in this podcast, number 2, red flag number 2, when those that you love don't love who you're with. I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. Listen, if you number 1, you need to make sure that the people you love actually genuinely love you. Let that sink in. Do they really love you? Do they want what's best for you? I've told someone before, if the people you're around, I don't care if it's mama, daddy, sister, brother, baby mama, baby daddy, friend, doesn't matter. If you are in a desolate place and they are quiet, they're quiet. They're just as happy as they want to be. And you're struggling, you're dying on the inside. And they're quiet. But the moment that you begin to try to heal and to change your environment, change your perception, and pull yourself out of the ditch, they begin to yell and scream. No, that's not real love. So we're not talking about those people. We're talking about the people who genuinely love you and want to see you grow, want to see you succeed, want to see you win in life, even if it's not with them. Catch that. Catch it. If the only time they want you successful and they want to see you win, the stipulation is that they have to be part of that, that's not real love. That's not genuine love. So we're talking about the ones who pull for you. They are not your yes man. They're not your yes man. These are the people that God places in your life that will love you, hold you accountable, correct you when you're wrong, and really want what's best for you, even if it means that it's only for a season and you're gone. They still will give you the advice. They will still give you the encouragement. They will give you scripture to stand on. When you're down, they're there. When you're up, they're there. When you need them, they are there for you. But they pray for you. They fast for you. They go to God on your behalf. Those are the people that I am talking about with this red flag. So listen, if those people who I just said support you, has a problem with who you're with, and they think that this person is not the one, again, let me put a disclaimer out there. This is Embracing Singleness, so just in case if someone has tapped into my podcast that is not single. If you are married, I am talking to single people. Once you're married, you have made a promise and a commitment to your spouse and God. I'm not telling you to stay in an abusive relationship or abusive marriage. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying here is for people who are dating and looking to elevate to the next level. If your circle who has been there in your darkest hour and still loved you, those that you are able to be truthful with, and they don't judge you, if they look at you and say, "Are you sure?" Like they won't give you an ultimatum because people that love you don't do that. They love you and say, "Are you sure?" Okay, I don't really agree with that, but you're grown. You're grown. And as long as you can deal with the consequences of your actions and your choices, then I can support you and not agree with you. Those are the people I'm talking about. So if they come to you and is and talking to you about the person that you have chosen, then that's a red flag. You really need to pull yourself back because, and don't be so emotionally entangled that you can't um, accept wise counsel. You just can't accept wise counsel. Listen, Proverbs 12 and 15 says the way of fools seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice. So be careful on who you're getting advice from. Listen, let me tell you something. Um, it doesn't matter. Listen, I told y'all I'm honest, very honest. Um, even sometimes even mama can give you bad advice. Mom can give you bad advice. Because if mom was raised how grandma was raised and their belief system was different, then they can be speaking to you based on their perception, and can be giving you some really bad advice. Because let me give you a heads up. Your blessing, it's not in your comfort zone. It's not. It's not. Whatever or whoever God has for you, they are going to push you to greater, to be more powerful, more. They're going to push you to grow spiritually. They are. They're going to go against the grain. And that's the one you need. You need the one that's not going to pacify you and babyfy you. They're going to tell you who you are and let you know that God didn't create you to struggle. God didn't create you to live paycheck to paycheck. God didn't create you to be in bondage. God didn't create you to be depressed. God did. Those people, those people are going to tell you what they see, because we're not just looking at the flesh, the physical part. We're looking at the spiritual, the aspect of the full relationship. Listen, it goes back to being unequally yoked. If you listen, someone like me, you have to have spirit of discernment, because I will never tell you I don't know if that's a good idea. So the thing that I say, and these are the people that you are around, and you know their communication style. And I've had people say, "Providence, why you just didn't come out and say no? Don't do that." I was like, "No, no, 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 no. God is a God of free choice, and if I look at you and say, 'Are you sure?' more than once, you better stop and ask yourself. Because listen, I don't get in people business. Um, so you have to be careful of who you're seeking counsel from, because people, and I've said this before, that people can actually grow up as survival. They are taught to survive, and it's made to look like love. Um, and that'll be a whole different podcast, so I don't want to go off on that. But people are taught survival, and it's made to look and feel like love. And then you have people who are genuine, who was raised um, on love. They may not have been raised on love. Let me correct that, because some people aren't raised on love, but then they fall in love with Christ, and then they know what genuine love looks like. And genuine love is patient, it's kind, it's not boastful. We don't manipulate. Um, Genuine love is free choice, free choice. So listen, if you have, and if you don't have anyone like that in your life, let me let you in on a little secret. Change your circle. Change your circle. You're wanting something different and you're hanging around with the same people who are on the same level as you, um, and you're going nowhere. You're on a hamster wheel. So let's get off the hamster wheel. You're smarter than that. God created you better than that. Hamster wheel does nothing but repeat cycles, and you wake up. You feel like you wake up. You do the same routine. You come home and you wake up to do it all over again. You're just tired. You're getting nowhere, and you're just stay on the same level. So if you've been on the same level for months and years, listen, change your circle. Change your circle. Get someone, get in a in company of other people who are going where you're trying to get. If you're the smartest one in the group, you're in the wrong group. If you're the richest one in the group, you're in the wrong group. Um, if everyone in the group has the exact same struggle, find another group. Find another group that can tell you how to get out. Um, so again, red flag number 2 is if the ones who love you, pinpoint right there, make sure it's genuine love and not manipulation. Made to look like love. Made to look like love. Um, if the people who you love and you know that loves you genuinely are reserved about the person that you have chose to bring into your world and to try to create a life with, that is red flag number 2. So as I say, if you enjoyed this podcast, please, you feel free to join us at Embracing Singles Ministry. We do it every second and fourth Monday of the month at 7:30 p.m. sharp. We do a teaching on it. If you want more details on this podcast right here, get on the Zoom. My podcast is just kind of a preview of what we will be covering in ministry. So look us up on Facebook. We are on Facebook, Embracing Singleness CLT. Um, as you know, the podcast, we're on all social media platforms. So please look out. As I always say, God is the greatest power, and you are not defeated. Until next week, talk to you then. Be blessed.
You have been listening to the Embracing Singleness podcast with Prophetess Shimika Bowers. We ask that you follow us on Facebook, Spotify, and YouTube.